Hello everyone, welcome to another evening of frank conversation here on Hard Copy. I'm IBRAHIM ADORA. Now the herdsmen-farmers clashes is still topical, and just like the event in Benue, Adamawa State in the northeast is also having its own fair share. And while debates are not in short supply, long-term definite solutions are few. Plus, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has released a timetable for activities leading and up to the 2019 elections. And while it is a wake-up call for the political parties to put their acts together, Nigerians are hoping that those bitter campaigns of 2015 are gone and gone for good, and that the processes will conform with extant laws and regulations. Now, how can we ensure this? We'll be looking at these and other issues, and my guest on the program is a lawyer and former advisor on political matters, that is, to former President Gulak, Jonathan, Barrister AHMED Gulak. Barrister Gulak, thank you for joining us on Hard Copy.
Thank you for having me, Ibrahim.
Now, the herdsmen-farmers clashes is pretty topical, like I did mention. Lives and livelihood are being lost with a general sense of insecurity in these places. What is your understanding of the issue as it is today?
Well, it is unfortunate. It appears Nigeria as a country is being overwhelmed by these farmers, herders clashes. The blame game, I have been following the debate on this issue across the entire country. It is unfortunate that we are only engaged in blame game. We don't face the issues squarely. What are the problems? How has Nigeria as a country handled the farmers, herders problems since about 20, 25 years ago? Mind you, our population is growing. And as population grows, the government has not put in place logistics, infrastructures to contain the fallout of population growth. With population growth, farms are expanded, herders are also being multiplied, and more especially with the recession of the Lake Chad Basin, herders migrate from various parts of West African countries to look out for greener pasture for their herds. We have not, as a country, been able to control the influx of even herders from outside our country. Then the issue is, when these herders cross over to Nigeria, you are talking about millions and millions of heads of cows. And when they move and they encounter farmlands. And without proper control of the cattle routes that have been in existence on the paper, the cattle routes have been overtaken by farmlands. Without proper control, the influx, we are not even talking about our herders within Nigeria. We are even talking about herders from across West African countries. Mali, Niger, Chad, Burkina Faso, Democratic Republic of Congo, moving into Nigeria. They are all termed Fulani herders. And when they come, they move in mass, and whatever farmland they meet across, they consume and eat it up. And the farmers will come complaining. And these complaints are made, with violence. And that is why we have this destruction of houses.
Perhaps in response to the situation, the scenario you painted is why the Benue State governor, for instance, is adopting ranching as one, but most importantly, he enacted a law that banned anti-grazing. Do you have an opinion as far as the anti-grazing law is concerned?
Yes, in making law, you have to consult and know the root cause of the problems existing. And when you make such law, you ensure that these laws will be complied with. In the first place, have we been able to educate the farmers or the herders within Nigeria first. Talk less of those coming into Nigeria. Ranching is one of the best practices, if we can. And a state, I don't believe the state has the resources to provide ranches for all the herders in its state. The federal government should come in. There should have been synergy between the various states and the federal government so that in partnership, these things can be properly handled. You see, if you are moved by sentiments in tackling such problems, you will create more problem than solving it. In the first instance, a Fulani man or a Fulani herdsman coming from Mali or Niger doesn't know jack about what you are talking about, grazing, open grazing. As far as he's concerned, it's normal, he moves with his cow, he doesn't have permanent address. That is why we call them nomadic. We would have thought when they move into the country, after taking correct census of those we have within the country and their locations, when these herders move into this country, we would have thought that the federal government, in partnership with the various states of the country, when these people move in, we take proper census of them. They always have their leaders when they move. And we give them tax, we give them assignment. Because every law you make, you must ensure that it will be a law that will be complied with, that can be enforced.